Good afternoon, everybody. I'm jumping on live today to demonstrate some cards and a little card holder. I actually made these back in December and just haven't gotten around to showing them to you. Trying to get everything set up here with the camera. Make sure that the live is working. Trying to see if I see it working on my screen. If you're watching, oh, looks like it's on the screen. Okay, let me adjust this camera just a little bit. If you're watching, make sure you comment. Let me know that you're watching. And if you're watching the replay, then just let me know you're watching on the replay. There we go. All right, I just adjusted the camera a little bit, waiting for it to catch up on the live. That's better. All right. So, I am going to show you how to make these 4 cards. They're actually really quick and easy. This first one is this I'm so grateful. And then we've got happy birthday. Got celebrate, and I can't thank you enough. The cards all feature this new designer paper that we have that is called Mixed Up Patterns, and they're just really soft and kind of pretty patterns of paper. Just pull these out a little bit. If you know me, you know my favorite color is yellow, so I really like this yellow paper. Got some blue on the back. This one would be really pretty for masculine cards. That wood grain look. We've got this green. I feel like there's 2 pieces there. Maybe it's just one. On the other side, it's probably hard to tell, but it's like pink polka dots. I've got this one, the front and the back, and I did not pull them all out, so let me see what else we've got here. I've got this pretty blue flower with the pretty yellow stripes. I believe this is daffodil, which is my favorite. I love this paper because it's not super busy, and sometimes you just want to add some color, but without making it too busy. I think it would be a great addition to have on hand when you're trying to just whip up a quick and easy card. And so we're going to actually do that today. I'm also featuring our Banner Sayings stamp set, which is new. And it comes, you can purchase it with a coordinating punch. And it punches out all 3. This is a 3 banner punch. And it just came back in stock because it was actually unavailable for a little while. So that's pretty exciting. And I just love it because there's just a bunch of little words on here. Just something that you can add to the front of your card if you're in a hurry or if you just don't have the right saying on hand. I wanted to show you a neat little trick as well. This is part of our new packaging that we have that came out. So we don't get the little cases anymore. We get these plastic packaging that it comes in, and it's a little taller. And so before, I used to take out my stamp, and I would take the plastic off, and I would adhere the stamps on the inside of the stamp case. Well, you can't really do that anymore with this new packaging. So I've been trying to figure out the best way to keep the stamp set in the packaging. And I've had some trial and error, and then of course there's a lot of demonstrators that love to show you different ways that they're doing it. And so I found this from a couple of different people, and I don't remember their names to give them credit. But what I do is, now what I've been doing is, before I take any of the stamps off of this plastic sheet, I go ahead and just ink up the whole entire sheet with black ink, with black Memento ink. And then I just take a piece of cardstock, and I will take the whole stamp that's inked up with black ink. Give it a good little, you know, push. So that now I've got all the words. And then this piece is what I'm using to store the stamp on, or these stamps. So when I'm done and I'm ready to put the stamps back, and I flip this over, you can see what I'm missing, which are the words we're going to use today. So just to demonstrate how this works, let me just pull up the one that I'm going to take the I Can't Thank You Enough, and I'm going to just show you. So you would take the stamp itself and place it on the piece of cardstock where it's stamped, and then you come in with your plastic insert to go over top. And once you get them all in there, then you'll have all of them on there, and you know they're all there. You know you're not missing any. And to me, I'm finding that's the best way that I have found to deal with the new packaging. And I will give you a little word of warning, because I did this. I didn't know when I did it, but if you store your stamp inside of here and you don't put the other plastic piece over this before you close this, the paper will stick to your stamps, and then you'll be trying to clean the paper off your stamps. So I highly recommend you either put the little plastic piece back over here that it comes with, or you do it the way that I just showed you, and then when you put it in this like that, it's not going to stick to anything. So just a little helpful piece of information. I'm going to actually move that out of the way to give us a little bit more room to work with. And we'll go ahead and get started. So this first card we're going to make is this I'm So Grateful. And I mean, it's going to be just quick and easy. And that's what I love about these cards today. They're going to just be quick and easy. So I have already pre-cut all of my supplies. We're starting with a white card base that I've already scored, and we're going to go ahead and just give it a good crease with the bone folder. And I'm going to go ahead and do the matting and just put this aside, but I've got a piece of the designer paper, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and then I have an old olive mat that goes behind it, which is just 1/8 of an inch larger, so 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Sorry, took me a second there. I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this using my glue, 5 little dots. That's really all you need for that. Five dots again. Put that on the card base. And we'll set that aside for a minute so that we can do our stamping. I'll get out my foam mat since we are using the photopolymer stamp. That's how I prefer to do all of my stamping, is on my foam mat now. If you don't have one of these, you really need to get one of these. I absolutely love it. I use it when I teach my classes. I taught a new group of ladies last night. 2 of the 4 were brand new. They'd never stamped before. So they had this at their station, and I had them actually practice stamping on it and then just on the table itself, so they could see that they really get a much better image when they do it this way. I have cut out a piece out of our white cardstock from the Nested Essential dies, and it's just one of the rectangle pieces. I love all of our dies that have like the stitched edging, and I've put the item number in the description above in case you're interested in that. And we are using the I'm So Grateful, and we're stamping with Strawberry Slush. So we're just going to ink that up. I just tested it off camera just for a second. I just like to stamp it once before I do that. And then we're just going to stamp this up here. You can see my words are actually not straight on my block. So since it's clear, I can see what I'm doing. Makes it really easy to get that stamped. All right. And now we're ready to finish assembling. Get my card front back out here. I also have cut, uh-oh, I might be missing a piece. Nope, that was in my envelope. Okay. Another die set I'm using on this card is the Petals of Beauty dies. And from this, we're going to use the leaves and one of the flower images. So you can see, hopefully it's not doing too much of a glare. I'm trying to hold it at an angle, but we're gonna get the leaves. We're getting one of the solid images of the flower, and then this other image from the flower. And I have taken this outline, I guess, the highlight of the flower. I have cut that out of that designer paper that we're using on these cards because it just gives it a little bit more. I'll try to even bring it up a little closer. I don't know if you'll be able to see the detail on the paper, but versus it just being a piece of solid cardstock. Yeah, probably can't really see that. So what we're going to do is we're going to adhere our white cardstock with our words, and I'm just kind of centering it. Then we're going to add the leaves. They are cut out of Old Olive cardstock. I'm just going to add a few little dots of glue. Then we're going to add the flower. Just going to add a couple dots of glue here as well. Come in here. Now I will say that it took me a little while with those dies. Again, they're called the Petals of Beauty dies, because the outline or the detail of the flower does not match perfectly with the back side of the flower cut out. So it just took me a while to figure out how I wanted it, and I don't know if there is a right or wrong way. So I kind of just played with it a little bit until I thought, okay, yeah, that looks good. So that was a little hard for me. I do like things to match and line up, but sometimes I think they look even better when they don't. So I'm just rolling with it. And then for the center of the flower, we are using the antique pearls. And we're just gonna take one of the medium size, and we're gonna use our take your pick tool. Actually, yeah, medium there. There we go. And there you have it, like just a super fast and quick card, especially if you just don't have a lot of time to sit down and be creative. Sometimes you just need quick and easy cards, and that's what all of these cards are today. They're all meant to be quick and easy. So that is the first card. Let's move on to the second card. This is just kind of like a fun little design to do. You could do this with any designer paper. You could do different sizes of the circles, but what I have done is I have used these circles from the Stylish Shapes dies, and I've cut them out the same size. I just did 3 of the same size of that designer paper. And then on the background piece, it's probably going to be very hard to see on camera, but I have a piece of cloud cover cardstock that I have embossed using the Beautiful Pattern embossing folder. And I really don't know if this is going to show up where you can really see it, but it's got like a stitched feel to it. Kind of looks like cross-stitch little X's. Yeah, oh, there we go. Yeah, it's not good. I'm trying to see on the camera. I'm looking at my live to see if you can actually see the pattern, and think you can almost see the pattern better by just looking at the embossing folder, maybe. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do that better. It's that halo. That halo keeps getting me in trouble. I need the light so that you can see what I'm doing, but the halo sometimes makes it challenging. So for this one, we're going to use a piece of scratch cloud cover to stamp the word celebrate. Get out my foam mat. And then we're going to punch it out using the banner's punch. We're punching it out of this middle piece here. So we're going to take celebrate and we're going to use some black ink. If you haven't seen this before, I've taken one of our white ink pads that actually comes uninked, and I used our black Memento ink refill to create a much larger ink pad for the black Memento ink. And it's just so much easier to work with than the smaller size. So we're just gonna ink that up. And we're gonna come in with the punch. I love our punches. I wish we had some more because I just love coordinating. And then we have our tag. And we have an extra tag that we can use for something else. So we're going to go ahead and assemble. We're going to start by folding our card base, giving it a good score with our bone folder. We're going to add our embossed piece of cloud cover, cardstock, 5 little dots. And that piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then we're going to just take our circles that we've cut out using the Stylish Shapes dies, and we're going to just adhere them. And we just need a few dots of glue. That was probably more than I needed. There you go. Got our 3 circles. And we're going to need some dimensionals, which I'm actually going to use. I love using every bit of my dimensionals. They are my favorite embellishment, so I'm actually going to cut off some of the edge here. Got to use every bit of that. Don't throw away those edges. We're going to add our tag. And then we're going to use the same embellishments that we used on the first card, the antique pearls. And we're going to add 1 of each size. So we're going to do a large, a medium, and a small. My favorite with the embellishments is when they come in the 3 sizes, because I love being able to use an odd number and using 1 of each size. Whenever they're just the 2 different sizes, then I end up using 1 large and 2 small a lot, so then I run out of the small faster. So that's the finished card. Super quick and easy. All right, let's move on to the 3rd card, which is this I Can't Thank You Enough. on this one, set that over there. We are using a couple different pieces of the designer paper from that package, the mixed up patterns. This is kind of like a soft pink. I think it's strawberry slush. It's just a lighter color. It's like the softer tone of strawberry slush. So I've got a piece that's 4 by 5 1/4 that we're going to mat on a piece of strawberry slush cardstock that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I have a smaller piece of the designer paper, and if I have to guess, I'd say it's 3 inches by 4 inches, but let me just check. It is 3 by 4. I'm pretty predictable in how I use designer paper. I like to maximize what I get out of a sheet. So I would never do like 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, because then you get significantly less out of a sheet. If you do by 3 by 4, you get a whole lot more. And then the base is going to be our pretty in pink. So I'm gonna set that aside for a minute so we can do the stamping. Got a scratch piece of paper here. And it's just white cardstock. And we are using the strawberry slush ink. And I just need to make sure I'm, okay. We're gonna use the punch. I'm just thinking out loud, but not really. And we're going to, I just inked up the wrong one. The I can't thank you enough is what I meant to ink up. We're gonna stamp that. And we're going to punch it with the punch. Yeah, that's right. Now I remember. And I want to have the banner on the right side, the create the little banner edge on the right side. So we're just gonna make sure we put it in the punch the correct way. And give it a squeeze. And then we have our banner. And we're ready to assemble. In addition to all the designer paper that we're putting on this card, I've also punched out some more leaves from the Petals of Beauty dies, Old Olive and Soft Seafoam Green. So we'll start by creasing our card base. This is our pretty in pink. I have a piece of white cardstock to go inside. So we're gonna go ahead and add that. There's actually a lot of glue in here. I don't know why it's not coming out. There we go. There we go. We're gonna add that on the inside. Then we'll go ahead and apparently didn't do a very good job creasing, so there we go. We're gonna start layering our mats. So we're gonna take our designer paper. See how pretty is the other side with that green. I don't think I showed you that piece originally. We're gonna add our 5 dots of glue. Layer it on our strawberry slush cardstock. We're gonna add 5 dots of glue here. And you might think, is that really enough? But it really is. It will not come apart. You have about 3 seconds to work with it if you put it on and it's not right where you want it. And then it's not coming off. It's like super glue for paper crafting. We're gonna add our 3 by 4 piece of designer paper. We're just looking to center that as best we can. We're gonna add a couple of leaves here. First we'll do the Old Olive. Then we'll do the Seafoam Green. And on here, when I'm putting the glue, I just try not to get it on these little like lines here because it could seep through. So I just try to get it on the sides of that. Add that here. Now we just need to add our tag, and we're going to get out our dimensionals, and I'm going to do it again. This time I'm just going to cut like one piece of an edge to put on the back side. And we're going to add some more pearls. We're doing one of each size again. I'm going to start with the large. Oops. And we're going to add the medium and the small. And that card is done. Super quick and easy. All right, we got one more card. This one's happy birthday, and before I can make it, I need to clean the happy birthday stamp since I inked it up accidentally in the wrong color ink. All right, that's clean. And for this one, it's Balmy Blue is the ink color we're going to use. And I am actually, on that last one, I cut out an extra little banner piece, and it's exactly what we need. So I'm going to just use that to do the stamping. So you could do that. You could go through and you could cut out a bunch of cardstock in these different banner shapes and just have them sitting there so that at a moment's notice you just pull one out, type your, stamp your words on there, and quick and fast. Gotta love quick and easy. All right, stamping the happy birthday. And let me get out the supplies for this card. Oops. All right. So for this card, we're actually doing a card that opens like a stand-up card. So that one I've already cut, but I don't think I did the bone folder yet. So let's do that. And we have a piece of Balmy Blue cardstock for the mat, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then we have this designer paper. We're using the yellow side. And maybe just for fun, I'll use the other side just to show you how you can use both sides. We'll do that. That'll be fun. I'll just change it up a little bit on the fly. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. We're going to adhere that to the card base. And then, so we're going to make this very monochromatic is what we're going to do. I have from the, oh, this is from a different die. Hold on. Let me see which one that one's from. I didn't realize it was a different one. Sorry about that. Let me just find it. If I don't find it fast, then I'll just tell you later which one it came from. Because I thought it was the same one. Course. Oh, it's over here. I'm like, I know I had it out. This is from the Lovely Arrangements bundle. This is the Lovely Arrangements die set. So you can see that it cuts out all of these circles. I'm actually going to demonstrate a couple other cards using the Lovely Arrangement bundle. I'm not sure when yet, but soon. I have them ready to go. I've just been trying to juggle everything right now. So what I've done here is I don't want to use the whole piece. I want to actually use a little bit less. So I'm actually just going to take my paper snips and come in here and cut off one of the rows. We just took one off to make it a little bit smaller. If you were going to turn the card the other way, you would want to leave it. We're going to go ahead and add some glue here in the corners. Now, as much as I like Daffodil Delight, Balmy Blue is my favorite blue that we have, for sure. I absolutely love our Balmy Blue. So it might be kind of hard to see, but I have got some twine that's going to go behind this piece, and we're going to use the blue piece instead of the yellow. So I'm actually going to take my Stampin' Seal and put some on this piece so that I can adhere my white twine. Just kind of wrap it around my fingers a little bit here. Pinch it in the middle. And then we're going to just set that on here. Some people are really good at that. I feel like I'm not as good as others at doing that and making it look natural. And that's okay. It may not be my specialty. Now we're going to use a couple dimensionals. And go ahead and pop this up on the front of the card. I'm actually going to trim that little extra piece off that we don't really need. There we go. So we're going to just set this in the middle of this piece. And then we're going to add the banner. We're just using some glue on the banner. And there we go. And look at that. Same designer paper. I just flipped it over and used the other side. You can tell me which one you like better if you're watching the video. It's funny because when I made it, I went back and forth on which side to use. And I love yellow so much that I went with the yellow, but now that I've made them side by side, the blue might be my favorite. All right, so those are the cards. Next, I'm going to show you how to make a little bit of room here. This box to hold the cards in. I'm going to give credit to the person that designed it. And I'm sure there's maybe more than one person that has designed something like this, but the lady that I used her instructions, her name was Lynn Dunn. And so I used her instructions to figure out how to make it. Set this aside. So I have a piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock, and it is full sheet. So it's 8.5 by 11. Oh, look, I even did a little cheat sheet on the back side. And it is scored. Let me turn it this way. So it is scored at 1 inch here, 7 inches and 8 inches here. And then in the other direction, it is scored at 1 inch and 2 inches, 1 inches and 2 inches. So on this side, it's the same. It's 1 and 2 inches across. And then on this side again, it was 1 inch here and then 7 and 8 inches. And then I marked it so that you can see the pieces that you're going to cut out. Anything that's got the X in it, that whole piece gets cut out. Where these lines are drawn, you're going to cut in on those, but this whole piece doesn't get cut out. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll start in this corner. So we're gonna go all the way across this line. Same on this line. Okay, now we want to keep this piece, but we want to get rid of this. So we're just going to come in and just get rid of that piece. We want to get rid of this long piece as well. And if you take advantage of my ordering special, which if you place an order by Monday, that's $50 or more, I will send you a kit, all the supplies to make the box and 2 of each card to go inside the box. I will make sure that the piece that you get to make your box has all of this information marked on it so that you will know exactly where to cut. Don't look too close at me on my score lines. I had a little issue with that one, but it's okay because nobody's perfect. Something I tried to teach my kids for a long time, especially one more than the other. We're going to cut that X out, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to do the same thing. So now we have all the pieces cut. We want to actually go in and fold all of our score lines and give them a good crease. So everywhere there's a score line, you're just going to go in and give it a good crease. And now that we have creased it all, I just have to remember. All right, so I remember. All right, so you can see, I'll give you like a rough idea that this kind of shows you what we're working with here. So we're going to tuck these top 2 pieces down and in here, and the same down here. Yep. And then we're going to bring in the side and come around like that. So that might be easier if I do it from the side, show you from the side. So we're just bringing it around and tucking it in. Hopefully that makes sense. We're gonna do that on each side, but before we do, I'm gonna actually show you another little trick. On these little tabs here that are going to be hidden underneath the side flap, I actually like to come in and cut little angles so that you've got this flap. It's just a little bit easier to work with. So anytime I'm making any kind of box, I always will come in and do this with the little tabs. I want to do the same here and the same here. You don't have to do too much, just enough. It just makes it easier to fold the box. All right, so now let's go in here and we'll give it another try. Now you can use tear tape. You could use stamp and seal. I'm just gonna use some glue. So I'm just gonna put some glue on these 2 tabs and on these 2 tabs. Probably should have done one side at a time, but that's okay. Because I'm gonna fold this in just like that. I'm gonna hold it for a second. You've got a couple seconds to work with this glue. Did I do it on the wrong? Oh no, okay. Yeah, sorry. I didn't put glue in all the places I needed to put it. So you also need some glue on this inside strip here. go back to the other side over here. I've got the glue that's on the little tabs, but I also need to put glue here. And on here, I'm using a little more than I would on my cards because I want to make sure this box holds. There we go. I'm going to just slide that in and hold it for a minute. Let the glue take hold. I'm sorry, I feel like my hands are probably so in the way, but this is kind of a hands-on kind of project. Then we just have this last piece that's going to just get glued on each side. So we're going to come in and add glue on each side. Wrap it around. We're going to just hold that in place for a minute. Hopefully this isn't running too long. I'm actually not even sure how long I've been on. I've just been having fun. All right, that's in place. All right, so then I still need that. I took a piece of our designer paper and I'm gonna put that on the front. There's pretty blue on the back side of that too. I'm gonna stick with the yellow on this one. So I'm just gonna adhere that to this front flap. And then just to give the box a tiny bit of extra stability, I've got a piece of twine, and this is our linen thread actually, that I'm gonna wrap around the box. So I'm gonna start by just making sure I've given myself enough room for one side of the bow, which is gonna go about here. And so then I'm gonna that in place and just wrap the twine around the box. And if it works right, I should be able to tie a bow over here if I have the right amount left here. Now when I am tying bows on a project like this, I actually like to go in and tie the knot so that I can hold my finger there, tie the knot. Now it's nice and secure on the box. And then we just need to tie the bow with it. I was trying to teach my ladies last night how to tie bows, and like it's so like easy for me because I've been doing it for 20 years. I had a really hard time trying to teach them how to tie the bows. And I was explaining to them that whenever I put together a card kit that has a bow, not like this, because I can't pre-tie this one, but if it's like a pre-tied bow that goes on a card, I always tie the bow for you so that you don't have to tie the bow. But this one, you're gonna have to actually tie your own bow on this one because I can't really do that ahead of time. And then I'm gonna just trim the edges a little bit. So we have our box. And then I'm just going to put the cards carefully into the box. I'll just do a couple at a time so that I don't want to mess them up as I'm putting them in there. It's catching. All right, well, I'm going to leave 2 out for now. So there we go. So we have the box, we have our cards in there, there's some envelopes in the back. And maybe what I'll do is I'll actually, if you place the $50 order where you're gonna get to make 2 of each of the cards, I'll send you the stuff to make 2 boxes. That way you can just do 4 cards in each box. And so you'll get 2 boxes and each one will have 4 cards with envelopes. If you place that $75 order, you're also gonna get a free pack of embellishments. And those embellishments will just vary based on what I have on hand. And you're going to get all the pre-cut supplies though to make all the cards, so it will include the embellishments you need that I showed you. The antique pearls will be included as far as the number you need to make the cards. So if you have any questions, let me know, comment below, tell me what you thought. I will go in and do any editing I need to do to the description when I finish with this video. And I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.